It was supposed to be just another rehearsal. The grand chandelier swayed slightly above the empty velvet seats of the old theater as the director screamed into his headset, pacing across the stage like a man possessed. They were down to the final dress rehearsal before the city's most anticipated performance of the year. Press was coming. Influencers. Critics. Everyone who mattered. And their lead actress had collapsed with pneumonia that very morning. Panic had spread like wildfire. Backstage, where makeup powder floated like dust and egos flared louder than applause, no one noticed the quiet woman sweeping the floor near the props department. She'd been around for months, silent, polite, invisible. Some said she was part-time maintenance, others thought she might be homeless, taken in by the theater's elderly costume mistress out of pity. They never bothered to learn her name. She never complained when the actors tossed scripts at her feet or mocked her old boots. Maybe she's mute, one joked. Or just dumb. The laughs echoed louder than her silence. But that afternoon, desperation forced the director to consider the unthinkable. "We need someone to read lines," he snapped. "Just for blocking. Anyone who can stand still and not faint." The costume mistress stepped forward. "She can try." A wave of laughter rose. "Her? Seriously?" The director, already on the edge, pointed without looking.
"Fine. You."
Center stage. Page 32. The woman nodded once and stepped forward, slowly, almost too slowly, and took her place beneath the spotlight. Her hands were trembling, but not with fear. More like anticipation. As the lights dimmed around her, the theater hushed. She began to speak. No one knew where the voice came from. It wasn't loud, but it filled every inch of the space. Gentle, haunting, powerful, a sound that wrapped around the listeners like a thread pulling them into a world they didn't know they'd missed. Even the tech crew dropped their headsets. The laughter stopped. Phones were lowered. The director stood frozen, blinking hard like he'd just seen a ghost. She didn't just read the lines, she lived them. Her voice broke at the exact right beat. Her eyes glistened with real tears. There was no costume, no makeup, no glitter. Just her.
Raw.
Real. Radiant. By the time she reached the final monologue, the theater was silent. Not with indifference, but reverence. Someone in the back whispered, "Who is she?" No one answered. Not even the director, who was already calling the producers. That night, the official actress was declared unfit to perform. And the woman, the one with the mop and the dust and the untold past, was asked to take the lead. Word spread fast. Social media posts went viral with captions like "*from janitor to Juliet", and "real-life Cinderella stuns stage crowd". Hashtags exploded. #from nobody to star, #hidden talent, #standing ovation. But no one knew the full truth. The night of the performance arrived. The theater was full, buzzed with energy. She stood behind the curtain, calm, her breath steady. She didn't fidget. She didn't tremble. Her eyes scanned the crowd through the small slit in the curtain. In the front row sat a man with a silver pin on his jacket, a rare emblem worn only by the members of a long-forgotten theatrical society known to train artists in secret across war-torn regions and isolated islands. He gave a slight nod. Then she stepped onto the stage. Her performance wasn't just mesmerizing, it was transcendent. People sobbed openly. Even the toughest critic, the one known for tearing actors apart, stood up and clapped through tears. Every single person in the theater rose to their feet as she took her bow. A standing ovation that didn't end. It was as if they had witnessed a miracle. But still, nobody truly knew who she was. That is, until the next morning. Reporters camped outside the theater hoping to get a statement. A few dug deeper. Records showed no name under the theater's staff. No tax ID. No employment file. Then a leak, grainy footage from a European news channel 5 years ago surfaced online. It showed a young actress, barefoot in a bombed-out theater in Eastern Europe, performing Shakespeare for a crowd of orphans huddled around candles. Her voice, unmistakable. Her expression, the same. Her past, suddenly not a mystery, but a tragedy. Rumors flew that she had once been a prodigy trained by a now-dead master, that she vanished after a massacre, that she wandered for years before arriving at the city's oldest theater, drawn by something deeper than fame, a promise. Some claimed she was heir to a forgotten fortune left in the ruins of her homeland, guarded by nothing but time and memory. Others whispered that she had once declined an international film deal because she believed the stage is where truth lives. The theater refused to comment. She never gave interviews. But weeks later, she left. Not for a tour, not for Hollywood. She left behind only a single envelope with the words, Asterisk, art is not for applause. It's for awakening. Asterisk. Inside was a check, the entire sum of her performance earnings, signed over to the theater's orphan outreach program. The theater installed a small plaque backstage, Asterisk for the woman who spoke without needing a name. Asterisk. And every year since, on the anniversary of her performance, the theater fills to capacity with people hoping she'll return. She never has. But sometimes, in the silence before the curtain rises, the actors swear they can hear her voice.
Soft.
Unforgettable. Watching. Waiting. And the mystery remains. Was she just a gifted woman who once slept in shadows? Or something more, a hidden legend whose story still isn't finished? Whatever the truth, one thing is certain. Sometimes, the voice you ignore is the one that echoes forever.